and others of the greatest names in other sports over the past 40 years. He's a master of words, so much so that he added street signs, billboards, programs, menus, and even ingredients on food cans just to keep in practice. He's one of the most fabulous parents I've ever met. I am proud to present my friend as a new Bergen Hall of Famer, but more important is that he is your friend and a lifetime friend of bowling and people. Welcome, Dan McDonough.
I don't get used to being on this side of the camera. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chuck, thank you very much. You know, I feel like I should pay him for that one now. I'm sure. Thank you, Hall of Famers and dear friends Bob Bertazzo and Joe Tolve. Joe Tolve was inducted into the New Jersey State Hall of Fame the same time my dad was in 1987. And been a friend of mine since way before that, and Joe has been at most of my major events. This is really quite the honor for me. I'd like to thank the Bergen. I had to write some of this down because now with the new USBC, things get into so many letters and everything, you get confused. So this is the way it goes. It says, thank you, Bergen County United States Bowling Congress Bowling Association. Did I get it right? We write it enough. For selecting me to be inducted into your prestigious Hall of Fame. And thank you, Scott Deliantis, Association Manager, John Barone, President, Pete and Bob, Vice Presidents, Board of Directors, the Hall of Fame Committee, for all you do for bowling and for this great honor. And congratulations to Paul and Frank on their inductions. The Bergen County Hall of Fame, pretty impressive. Judy McMahon, Lou Campy, Lindy Faragelli, Frank Esposito. These were all people that I knew a little bit, some a lot, and I have pictures of all of them with my dad. I've come to understand that it's people that make up a Hall of Fame, not numbers and not awards. It's people that put me here. It's people that read the sports reporter. It's people out there bowling and people in here to share this honor with all of us today. Thank you. I remember when my dad was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Bergen County Hall of Fame, then it was the ABC, in 1982. My father passed away in 1976, and since then I've been kind of like the captain of the ship for the sports reporter. But one of the things that I never got rid of was my dad's Bergen County Hall of Fame jacket. And his name was Pat McDonough. My little guy's name is Pat McDonough too. So I let him wear his jacket that is since 1982. Wow. I can remember when my dad was inducted into the Bergen County Hall of Fame back in 1982. It was so special for him that he turned it into a family gathering. He invited the whole family down. I had uncles, aunts, cousins, relatives, friends. It was really quite the event. My cousin Tish, who's with me today, brought, I don't know where she found it, but the program from the 1982. It's nothing like the one we have today, but it's just a mimeographed sheet stapled together. Really impressed that she found that and had it since 1982, and she's not getting out of this room with it. I remember the big portrait they took of my dad and had on display here. If you remember Paramus Bowling Center, you would go to Paramus Bowling Center to have all those big portraits hanging on the wall. Well, I used to go up there with my dad. I would drive him up on Monday nights, back in the 60s, I guess, and we would go to the Eastern Classic. Have I got that right, Chuck?
Yeah.
But we would have to go early. We couldn't be there for the Eastern Classic, so we would go to, I would take my son Dan with me in the 70s and the 80s. He was 5 years old like Pat. And we would go up to Paramus, and we'd have to get there early, like about 2 hours before the thing started. Why? Because they had the women's individual classic that bowled at Paramus at the same time. Jackie, you remember that? It was half, it's such a small part of what it was back then, but they're still alive, and they bowl every other week at Lodi Lane still?
We're down to 14 now.
Down to 14, yeah, but not some of the originals like Elaine Laverty and yourself.
One or two.
1 or 2. And Oshie. Do you know what Oshie stands for? Anybody here does not know what Oshie is?
Oh, we know.
See me later. Not you. Bergen County, I remember so much about Bergen County. When I was growing up, my dad used to take me every place like I take Pat. I was at the opening of Rizzuta and Burris. How many remember Rizzuta and Burris?
Oh,
Yeah, you were too old. I was there for the opening of that. It was exciting. I was there for the closing, too, only it was Astro Bowl. And what a sad event that was. They didn't want to close, but the owners wanted to shut it down. I was there with Milton Flam. Does anybody remember Milton Flam? Yeah, okay. He opened Bowling Club 9W back in the 60s. And I remember taking a bus from school when I played on the high school bowling team. Varsity. And Don and Laverne Carter were putting on the exhibition there at the time, and I got to bowl with them before they unlocked the doors to Bowling Club 9W. I was there for that closing, too. I have personal stories about a lot of these places. Ask me someday, and I'll share them with you. We're not going to do that now. Just remember that it takes people to get anything done. We didn't get here by ourselves. And when it's all said and done and everybody finally goes home, we're left with our thoughts. We sit back and realize that we have some people to share it with. I have some family here today that I get to share it with. With me here today is my sister Eileen. We want to do a play about that. My sister Eileen. My closest cousin Tish, my kissing cousin who's not getting out of here with that program. My beautiful daughter Lorianne. Our challenging son, Dan Jr., chairman of the board, who happens to be the smartest man that I know, seriously.
I don't know too many people.
Challenging. There's more to come. And my 10-year-old son, Pat, my sidekick, comes with me to all the dinners and events. If you've seen me at any of these things, he's there with me. And now, my very special guest. Then I have my mom and dad, God rest their souls, who I'm sure is watching this from someplace, and are probably trying to wonder why you're giving me this honor. But still, they're so very proud of me. But that's what it's all about. I'm so proud of this honor, and I'm happy to have people that love me to share it with. Benjamin Franklin said, one of my favorites, well done is better than well said. So I'm going to stop talking now and keep publishing the Sports Reporter every week like I have been since Dad took it over in the early 60s. Again, let me thank all of you for sharing this day with me. This has been a remarkable journey, and it all began with my dad.
Mr. President, I present to you Mr. Dan McDonough, newest member, Bergen County, USBC VA Hall of Fame, 2008.
Let me know when you're done.